and different ways that it affects you and your children. Our other parent events throughout the year are a little bit different. They're more family oriented, so we have you engage with your children. We have one other event during the school year when we hire child care, but all other times you'll be able to walk around with your children and participate in different activities. But I just want to say thank you for being here tonight, and if you have any questions throughout, just let us know. We'll stick around afterwards too. But I'm here with my Title I team over here, and we have some over here, and we have our principal, Mrs. Kajerski, right over here, and quality work facilitator, Miss Williams. And we have a couple wonderful translators and ESOL teachers, Miss Sanchez and Miss Quinones. So it's a great night, and we are going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to pass you off to Miss Sanfilippo.
Hi guys, I just want to welcome you again for coming. Thank you so much. I'm Miss Sanfilippo, and I work with third grade this year in small groups, but I may have worked with some of your children last year because I worked with kindergarten through third last year. But I just want to share with you tonight, what is Title I? What does that mean that we're in a Title I school? And it is a federally funded program, and we receive money, we receive funds based on the percentage of free and reduced lunch. Scoot over so you guys can see, and I'm not in front of it. A free and reduced lunch population. And our students are served on academic need, so we identify our at-risk students, but we are also school-wide, so everybody benefits from the funds that we receive. It can help, the Title I program helps children perform better in school. We have teachers that understand the needs and concerns of students, and we have great parent involvement. And I'm going to have, there's two types of programs, and I'm going to let Ms. Caldwell explain.
Hi, it's good to see everyone. I'm Ms. Caldwell, and I know I've worked with several of you guys, so it's good to see you again. There are two programs for Title I schools. We have targeted assistance, and that is where the school qualifies if there's 35% free and reduced population of the school. And with that, students are identified based on just a long list of needs, and we take lots of information into consideration, all the data, we look through that, and we are able to use those funds to target just those students. There's also the other program, which is what we are here at Cumming Elementary, is school-wide program, which is when you have 40% free and reduced lunch population, and then we're able to use those funds. We have an initial year-long planning process that we go through, and that is where all students at the school can benefit. So we're able to have a lot of resources, a lot of programs in place, but we do still use a very specific program in order to identify the students who are most at need. We're able to offer math assistance and reading assistance, and through that there's several models that we do follow, which is sometimes we go push into classes, especially in the upper grades, there's a lot of that, and then we also do services where we pull the children out. We have things during RTI time in the morning, as well as some after-school programs that we do that usually starts in January, sometime around that for grades 3 through 5. We also have Kinder Camp. Some students went there this summer for rising kindergartners. One of the ways, and I mentioned that as well, I kind of skipped over that, but there's it's called TINA, Title I Needs Assessment, which is where we rank those students who have those needs. That's how we determine who we're going to use for these programs, whether it's the after-school program or even looking at the kindergartners, the rising kindergartners who have qualified based on the pre-screening that we do. So we take all that information and we're able to really put some programs in place that all the students here can benefit from.
I just want to mention that last year we were awarded as a Title I reward school, and it's all based on our data and how our students perform, and that it hasn't come out this year yet. We were told today around November we should be told whether we were awarded as a Title I reward school. So school, we have a school-wide plan, and you guys are actually involved in the school-wide plan. We get feedback from you, and we have a planning team, which includes administration, the LSC, teachers, you guys, and we get all of our feedback as well as student data. And we really analyze the data to really see where our needs are, where we need to work the most and what we need the most. And then we create goals and then use our funds to purchase these resources to support those instructional goals. So our goals this year, are to increase reading fluency and comprehension, increase math problem solving, and increase science and social studies achievement. So we do have support teachers that do push in or pull out and work on math, work on reading and increasing reading levels, as well as really incorporating science and social studies within that reading as well to really increase performance.
Good evening. I'm Pam Petersky. I'm the principal here at Cumming, which is a very exciting job, and it's a true honor. We have a great team here of folks out supporting our students. One of the big things that we do with our Title I program is support curriculum and instruction, and to make sure that every student gets every bit of support that they need, and also that our teachers get training that they need. I know many of you, or maybe all of you, have heard of Common Core. Some of you, if you have older students like I do in high school, that may be particularly in math, may pose some challenges, but we are working through full implementation now for 2 years of English Language Arts and Math Common Core in grades K through 5. So we are supporting those initiatives in the classroom. And the standards were developed to provide a consistent framework for instruction. It's also to help prepare students to be more globally competitive. There's a lot of misunderstandings about Common Core out there, and I've been looking at it for a couple of years now. It is both as a parent and as an educator, and it's really going to be a good thing because Georgia has some of the lowest test expectations in the country, and so we've got to do some things to get our kids thinking. So please always ask questions, and if you need information about that, you can talk with your teacher, and I'm always happy to help support. But there's a lot of good things to look at with Common Core, with math and the ELA, and excuse me, and writing, and so you will see different things coming home with your child, and when you come for conference in October, your teacher will be able to give you a lot of great information about how your student is doing. So that's going to be very important to attend conferences to get a little deeper understanding of where your student is performing. So I really encourage you to do that as well. We will be using GPS, which is Georgia Performance Standards for Science and Social Studies. There are no Common Core standards for Science and Social Studies. That's also another misunderstanding, I think, sometimes that's out there. We will follow the Georgia Performance Standards for Science and Social Studies. One big change this year is with Georgia Milestones. We will not have what was previously known as the CRCT. We have something called the Georgia Milestones, and that assessment will be a little bit more difficult in that it's going to ask students to explain their answers and talk through that. You may see, again, this is something that would be really different to see in math. We've been working on this here for more than a year with our students on explaining answers and maybe explaining their thinking. And so really, that's something parents can do to support our work, is to talk to your students and ask them what they're doing relative to that. Forsyth County also has interim assessments. We just took those about a week and a half ago for 2nd through 5th grade, and those are aligned to the Common Core standards that we are instructing, and that kind of gives us the baseline of where students are performing. That's information we use just to drive instruction. It's not something that they get a grade on or that you would have to be concerned with. But we do give a post-assessment in May to see how much growth we've had from students. So they may hit content, or they will hit content on that they have not had instruction on. I will cycle back to Georgia Milestones. One thing I want to make sure everyone knows is that we have some measures in place now because of what is our new teacher evaluation system. It's called TEACS, and that is some student learning objectives. Those are called SLOs, and those are based on their reading levels. So your student may come and say that the teacher sat with them in the hall and asked them to read for them, and that's what's going on with that. So we'll be able to give you a really good picture of where your student is performing with all of this information we're gathering at any time really, but particularly in October, that'll be a good time to sit down with your teacher and get all that information. One thing I just learned last week, and I don't even think we put it on the slide because it's such new information, that promotion and retention, in 3rd and 5th grade, in the past you had to pass the state test to go to the next grade, and that is, for this year, the State Board of Education has waived that, so there is no more promotion retention for this school year based on whether they pass or not. We're going to look at a lot of different factors, which really is what we've done here, but that's was voted into law by the State Board last week. So, lastly, our Found a Simpanel reading levels, we call it F&P here. That is where your student is going to read, and we're going to figure out where they are reading on an independent level and an instructional level. And the instructional level is where they'll be working with their teacher in small groups and things like that, and with these ladies and others in our building that support reading instruction, including our ESOL team and our EIP team of teachers. So we have a lot of help here coming. We're very excited about the plan we have.